I think he's ready to go, guys.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to rock and roll. But that was very astute observation, Alan. That's first of all, thank you. I appreciate that's a very genuine compliment, and I take that. And by the way, if anybody can't hear me at any given point, please, Alan, let me know, and I will make the adjustment. But yeah, thank you again. Thank you for the kind introduction. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for committing, all of you guys committing your time to come see what we have to talk about. I think that this was done pretty off the cuff. Alan had asked me to join in on one of his kind of opportunity webinars, and I said sure. I think you guys can see on at least one of my screens my phone. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, we got your phone here. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. All right, beautiful, perfect. So I will, anytime that you guys, when I'm talking about my phone, it makes sense to look there. And if you can't see it, or if there's a lag or anything, or if it cuts out because it is connected via this like strange Wi-Fi connection to my laptop, which is then streaming to you, then let me know. So that's the objective of today's call, is actually not to be overly grandiose, although I'm sure it'll get there, but to hyper practicalize the vision that has been kind of parlayed over different product lines. And so, I'll give 5 minutes of context. Alan, I'm going to assume I don't have to do the who is Shorupan, who is Global Exchange talk.
Nah, we did all that. We welcomed
cool.
you with all
beautiful.
the background and history.
All right, perfect. So let's just get into it.
You're a diehard. We told them all that.
I'm a what?
You're a diehard. Born and raised in crypto. You started when you were three.
Sure.
Teething and everything. You were crypto already. You've just been right there.
Fair. I don't know if you guys could see. This is a platinum Bitcoin ring, and is the only piece of jewelry I ever wear because I'm married to Bitcoin. Let's go into. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get a lot of time to talk about InstaCrypto or Assets.io outside of their relationship to the BrokerApp, because I did want to make this call like almost all about the BrokerApp. And I'm not even trying to make it like, what is the BrokerApp? I'm going to skim over that and talk about how the BrokerApp can affect your life today. Okay, so before I go into that level of practical implementation, I would take a couple minutes to talk about how the BrokerApp came to be, what it's done until now, and obviously, as Alan tried to allude, what we're trying to accomplish with it. So in 2019, in about May, I had this proposition, or I had this idea that what if you can create the equivalent of like all of the other financial assets had these kind of standard brokerage networks. What if you could create that for cryptocurrency? What would that look like? How would it work if you could make money off of helping people get any cryptocurrency without having to pitch them a particular cryptocurrency? How could it look like if you could make money off of helping people get access to any platform, not just a particular platform? And so we developed that idea, and it seemed that my hypothesis was correct. Even the rudimentary version of the first version of GX Broker, which came out in last year, was extremely successful considering the lack of kind of steadiness that it had. People loved the idea and were willing to pay a good amount of money to secure their position as someone who can profit from helping people transition into crypto. And we have several thousand brokers, ranging from people that had clients who are buying crypto the next day, who obviously are just now making fees off of that, which is great, all the way to people who probably are not going to have any clients for years, but they know that the future of there's going to be a wealth transition of seismic proportions, and they wanted to benefit from that. So that ethos existed on, and at the beginning of this year, I wanted to take that to the next level. I wanted to take the seeds that we had planted, obviously the network that we had grown, obviously the software that we had built with GX Broker, and put it against the real test, I call it, which is, could the underlying principles of GX Broker, and I'll go over them, apply to any digital product? And if so, could it be consolidated in a way that the currencies, a la cryptocurrencies or even fiat currencies, are just a medium of being able to transact, and any product or service that is transacted over these currencies can also be a part of what at the time was called GX Broker and is now called BrokerApp. If that doesn't make sense to you, you'll understand when I show the actual app. The biggest difference for people, if you're new, like if this is the first time you're hearing this, you have a considerable advantage because for people that have already heard me speak before, it's going to be very tempting for them to think that our objective with the broker app is to make it easier for people to make money off of other people buying and selling crypto, which is what the premise of GX Broker was. And although that's a very lucrative business that where there's no competition except us, we're the only ones that ever did that. So we have, like, it's a great business, but what we're really attempting to do, or what we've done, and from a technology perspective, it's finished. Now it's just a matter of rolling it out. What we've done is we've taken this notion that all commerce is going to be done digitally, and a large part of that's going to be crypto, and then taken the principles of network marketing or affiliate marketing or whatever type of marketing and consolidated them into one application underwritten by a technology I created called the broker chain, which is essentially going to allow any human to monetize his network in any way that he wants. I'm using the word he, I mean he or she. And the greatest example, the greatest proof of concept for that hypothesis is cryptocurrency and global exchange as a singular brand that is allowing people to make money off cryptocurrency. If global exchange could use the broker app to help people make money from cryptocurrency, then any company can use the broker app to help people make money from absolutely anything. That's the proposition. Alan, is there anything you want to add before I go into the demo?
I do have one thing I want to say. When you're done this little bit, okay, great. If you don't mind, can you just give us, I mean, I'm done talking about 3 minutes, but just give us like a 3-minute, here's how I'm thinking. Here's how I think the future is going to unfold, okay? And how you see yourself advanced by doing a certain things that the world isn't seeing like right now. I think we're very advanced, no questions. But I like everybody to get your sort of headspace on the next, you know, what you see as the future, how you're, because I know you got a lot of things that are in the works. Yeah. So just share a bit of your vision, I think.
Well, I appreciate the platform to be able to speak on that. Thank you for caring. I would say that, you know, there's primarily two, relevant to this conversation, there's primarily two paradigms that I think are inevitable. And they're not just inevitable. I think almost every person, you know, not every person, but let's say 99% of people are thinking that they're optional. So at the beginning of January of this year, I thought COVID-19 was optional. I soon found out it was inevitable. And that's the analogy I would give. I'm pretty stubborn, so I didn't think that my life would be affected by COVID.
Sure, but I can back you up 1,000%. I don't believe that there's going to be much left in the banking world if it isn't in crypto. So I mean, the world is turning. It's a given. They're saying 2 to 3 years. Actually, one of my favorite slides near the end, it says, in the next 3 years, cryptocurrency is going to engulf banks. And, and then it goes on to say that the younger generation of today, in the next 3 years, will not deal with fiat banks unless they have access to crypto. So that is a slide that I really hammer on because to me, it's exactly what's happening. It happened in all kinds of industries. You know, it happened in the music industry. It happened in a lot of different industries. It's now happening here, and we need to embrace it. And the best part is you got a $10 billion bank, all these big $1 billion, they can't move their entire company overnight. But the guy, the individual person who runs a little household, he can zip over in about 3 days. You know, and take advantage of being in the bank's position as if it was like 1800s.
Yeah. No, well, definitely that you just expressed the sentiment well. That's one of the paradigms. I hope that everybody picked up. I said two paradigms that are inevitable, that everybody is thinking it's optional. I think like, again, I don't know, I'm cautious when I use the words like majority, but I think at least in my exposure, like the people that I'm exposed to, that are not crypto fanatics uh, still think that cryptocurrency is like reasonably important. You know, whether they're against it or for it, they think it's like the internet, right? Reasonably important. I don't think anybody is just kind of saying it's going to go away at this point, but that's like saying it's optional, right? I'll deal with it if I want to deal with it. There's always going to be a way that I don't have to deal with it. I think that's wrong. You might not ever have to deal with it directly, but it's going to have a pretty considerable impact on your life. That's the first paradigm.
Yeah.
The second paradigm is, let's call it working from home, working remotely, and I would summarize that as monetizing your influence. So 2020 has exacerbated this trend, but it's a trend that's been going on, you know, probably for the last 50 years, definitely since the dawn of social media, but probably for the last 50 years, where the value of labor, like my dad executed a labor job for that probably, I don't know, still, 50 years or something. No, that's not true. He'd laugh if I said that, but let's say easily 30 years. And that format of being able to continuously provide value in a labor market has disintegrated. There's still some value left in it, but any value left in it's going to try to be made efficient and cut out. And what we're starting to see is that the real value is in being able to monetize your influence. That's kind of what every person has started to transition to do, even if they don't feel like they're doing that. And you can make an argument that for the last decade, all of us have done that to the benefit of the large internet companies, because our content is what makes Facebook or YouTube or anything very successful. And of course, they provide a great service in return. But nonetheless, I think that COVID and the post-COVID world will force that acceleration probably even more than I'm expecting
More
it.
so,
And
more so.
well, I'm expecting it a lot, but I feel a lot of times that we tend to underestimate the viciousness of trends once they hit an equilibrium. Like it took Intel, almost 2 decades to develop the equivalent of an i1 processor, and the next 5 years they went to i7. So, I mean, once you hit a certain equilibrium, once thousands of companies around the world feel like, hey, maybe making my employees work remotely is not the worst thing in the world. Once that's even a notional thought, now you're heading into a world of if you don't earn your keeps on a daily basis, you ain't gonna have nothing. If you don't own the assets that you're working for, you're not really gonna have much. And
Sure, Pen,
people
let
that
me
have
interrupt.
sure.
If you're in university, this is said already. If you're in your first university year and you're going for 4 years, by the time you hit your 4th year of university, everything you learn in first year is a waste of time. It's that fast returning. It used to be 50. It was 50 years to get to 50 million people using radio, and then it was 38 years to get 50 million people to using TV. And then in 2001, 2002, it was 3 years to get 50 million people using the iPod, the music. I'm telling you right now, we're all on the cusp, huge cusp, the game changer. Back in the 60s, 50s, one man would run the household, do a regular job, a laborish type job, business job, and be able to support himself. Not anymore. All that is going overseas. And even as much as Trump's trying to save it, the bottom line is the world is turning so fast. It's faster than you can imagine. This, what you're saying about monetizing your value, your network, the people around you, everything that you own. I mean, that's where it's coming. That's where it's coming.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because that's all that's left. One of the things that's really interesting, and I'll try to wrap it up here before going into the demo, which is I know what people really want to see. If you look at it like this, like take an average person, skill set average, IQ average, socioeconomic background average, any country, you can run this experiment. sociologists have ran it many places. Their contribution to their corporation is almost negligible and very much replaceable. Their contribution, however, to the 5 to 10 closest people in their life is quite considerable. What that means is that they can exert buying decisions over those people to export much greater economic value than what they probably do at their job. And that's not so efficient, and that's why it hasn't exacerbated like what I'm saying, and that's why you haven't seen everybody kind of been laid off. But I think that as you proceed forward in any capacity, in any trajectory that we are on right now, what you're going to notice is that if you're not able to garner your influence, again, you don't need to be, Cristiano Ronaldo, you don't need to be the most popular person ever. You just need to have the ability to monetize your influence over some domain of expertise. Unless you can do that, it's going to be a pretty interesting next, I don't know, decade or so. That's for sure. And 2020 has, I never thought I would see something like 2020 in my life. And I don't know, Alan, you could probably speak to that. You've had a longer life, but it's just, it's a miracle.
I've had a longer life. It's just like what, double?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Oh, is
double,
it that much?
one.
Oh, listen,
double
I'm just over 28. I'm really
double
close.
and a half or something.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm joking. Okay, cool. So those are the two paradigms I see converging. Again, we can discuss in detail what those means. However, I wanted to attack both of them in this application that we're talking about. Let's consider the solutions, and let's consider why the BrokerApp solves some of those problems. Again, we might very well be looking at, the BrokerApp might be MySpace. I've thought about that, sadly, where I figured out every problem, and that solution was MySpace, and it just didn't happen. Facebook happened, but nonetheless, MySpace was correct, poorly executed, but very correct, so correct that their successor became Facebook. And what I mean by that is there's no doubt in my mind that the solution that we're presenting to the problems that everybody has to deal with, those two problems I just mentioned, is spot on. I don't think there's anybody can debate me on that. If the mechanics and kind of how is debatable, for sure, no question about that. That's where I expect the help of the field. That's where I expect the help of customers. That's where I expect the help of the iterative nature of a market. But in terms of the solution to the problem, I'm fairly confident. And what is the solution? So let's cut it straight to the chase. I'm assuming, Alan, is it fair to say that everybody on this call has experience, even if that's just the most minimalistic, in some type of network marketing, affiliate marketing?
I can't say that for sure, but I would say the bulk for sure.
Yeah, you'd say it's a reasonable. It's not like anybody here would be like, "What's network marketing?"
No, that's right.
Yeah,
I would say the bulk of the people are involved in, or have been involved, or understand networking to some.
Got it. So
I always say in the meeting, and I know you haven't seen that, but I always say in the meeting is we're not selling like a goji juice. We're talking about being the bloodline of something where everybody's coming to, being forced to. In fact, the banks are telling everybody that this is where it's headed. Okay, so all we got to do is put up billboards and signs, say, hey, over here. That's sort of my, analogy of the business you're in. It's not quite like you got to go out and chase everybody. Sure. You get people calling you back 2 weeks later saying, hey, you're still in it? Because the world is turning in this direction.
Yeah, no, that's a fair, that would be true for Insta Crypto. That would be true for anything in crypto, I would say, for sure. I'll take that a step further. And the reason I asked that question is just because if I make any assumptions or use jargon in the network marketing apparatus, I apologize. I was first exposed to network marketing when I was 17 years old. I was in high school, and it was healthcare. And obviously, just like everybody else when they get started, had no idea what I was doing. I was so young, I couldn't sign up. I was so young, I didn't have a credit card to pay for it. But I was so ambitious, so ridiculously ambitious, overly ambitious, I would say, that I was incredible at it. Relatively speaking, obviously.
Are you telling me you found a way to cheat your way in so that you could actually sign up?
Of course I did. Come on. Please. Someone's aunt's name was on some account somewhere. But the point was that what transpired over the next 16 months was an expression of the fact that I was, for the first time in my life, I was pretty smart, even, just relatively, from an academic perspective, but even outside of that, what network marketing exposed to me, and this was what, like 2000 and this had to be like 2014. The world, even though that sounds funny, that as if I'm saying that if it was a long time ago, 2014 to 2020, I think more things changed than 2000 to 2014. And that's just a representation of the fact that things exponentially compound. Like more things changed between 2000 and 2014 than 1980 to 2000. So I'm not saying that, in kind of this like epochtic way. I'm saying that actually just speed of acceleration. But what was clear to me was that every time a person first gets introduced to the principles of network marketing, it could be at the age of 17, it could be at the age of 50, they come to some type of revelation that what they've been doing until that point is not ideal. That doesn't mean they can actually stop what they've been doing until that point. That's almost never the case, right? But it essentially to some degree is analogous to the, like waking up and saying, oh man, there's like another paradigm of being able to monetize.
Shorupan, it's funny.
Yeah.
I actually was introduced to network marketing when I was 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
Same age, I saw a whole change. I saw Dexter Yeager live on stage. He's the number one, 1.5 billion.
Legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, legendary. Yeah. I mean, he's the number one network marketer. He died
by
January 6th of 2019, sadly, in his 80th year. But I saw him live. And I was 17 years old, and it gave me a whole new world that people are not normally used to. An ability to climb the ladder in an equal and fair way. I mean, that's basically what it was. Sadly, Amway is, no way to go. But anyways, you got it.
Yeah. No, so the reason I bring that up is because of what was that? Because I think all of us and everybody that experiences that, whether you have success or not, there's some part of you that changes that day that can never go back. Even if you never do it again. I've seen that in a lot of my colleagues. I've seen that in myself. And what I have now hypothesized is that the network marketing in a very kind of inefficient and clumsy way introduces you to the idea that every interaction you have is a potential opportunity to increase your earning power. It could be an interaction with your mom, your cousin, your friend, your family, a business partner, anybody. And I just don't think anybody thinks like that outside of that domain. And that's a really empowering thought process, because it basically says, wait a minute, everybody around me is buying things 24/7, more or less. And sometimes I'm the reason they buy them, and there's an opportunity for me to potentially capture that value. Now, unfortunately, most network marketing companies don't do much of that solving of that problem because they're focused on selling their products and services, and that's fine. But I think that is what people gravitate towards, and that's something I don't think they can ever let go of, even if they have to run away from the industry. Cool. Just wanted to keep that in mind as we progress through this. And if anybody who has an alternative opinion to that, love to hear that. Another time we could just sit and talk about that. It's a very interesting concept as to what that means, and why listening to Dexter Yeager at 17 years old was interesting, because for all intensive purposes, that shouldn't have been interesting. And
it was a wake-up call. It was because at that point in time, they don't teach that in school.
But they still don't, right? So.
Yeah. Well, they still don't, yeah. But that gave me a concept. It's like, oh, there's a whole new realm here we can work with.
Yeah. And so, okay, with that being said, the BrokerApp is a way, long story short, let's get into the technicalities. I just opened it. This is the most advanced version of the BrokerApp. I did present the BrokerApp in a GX Reloaded webinar I did with Alan, feels like a month ago, could have been longer or shorter, I have no clue actually. And it was an astonishing, I don't think anybody expected that. And since that day, I've taken it to a whole new level. Me and my team have questioned every first principle. And I've honestly, at this point, I'm really proud of where it is right now. I was really proud of it on September 18th, but I'm blown away at what it's like a childhood, dream to try to manifest some of those things that I felt when I was 17. So here is my attempt at it. Now you tell me what, Alan, all of you guys, I think, have great contributions to add potentially to this. Remember, the concept of cryptocurrency underpins all of this. To me, cryptocurrency is blood flow through your business. It's like water. So I feel not the need to talk about it all the time when we're talking about the BrokerApp. We can talk about it as a particular product, or we could talk about it as the infrastructure. So when I open up the app, right, that's the app right there, right-hand side, right beside InstaCrypto, Crypto Lottery, GXLive. It's a crazy lineup. If I open up BrokerApp, the first thing, I'll even open it up. I'm logged in right now, so that's how it looks when I'm logged in. So if you notice a couple things here, it's showing your network valuation, 1,766. So that right there is the goal, of the BrokerApp. And I don't think we're going to accomplish this goal to my liking anytime soon, but that we've accomplished enough of it to start. The goal of the BrokerApp is to value. Well, let me start even earlier. The goal of the BrokerApp is to create, to document, monitor, and then value every human's net worth as a dollar function. So let me repeat that. If you took the legitimate value from an economic perspective of your network, in other words, the influence you impose on people in your life, and you could somehow extrapolate that to a dollar function, that's what we're trying to do. Now, nobody really cares about that except us, but you will care about that because I think that will end up becoming your most valuable asset ever. Doesn't mean it's going to be, a lot of money. I just said it's going to be your most valuable asset ever. It's very, just keep that in mind. That doesn't say brokerage valuation. It doesn't say one company's, my Manulife insurance brokerage or my global exchange brokerage or blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't say my Herbalife team. It doesn't say any of that. That says my network valuation, $1,760. That's basically the value of, objectively, without any manipulation in terms of forcing people to do certain things that I want them to do, what is the value of my network? Okay, let's dig into that a little bit deeper. I'm going to use someone who has a better network valuation, Ariel, because he has more levels and whatnot. So at time when someone doesn't have an account, like I just opened the app without having an account. This is in theory how all of your prospects or every human that will interact with the app will open it, right? They'll open it without an account, or at least they'll open it without logging in because it's impossible to log in before opening it. This is what they'll see. They're going to see all of the industries that the BrokerApp will aspire to work in. The one that we focus on right now is financial services. And then within financial services, it breaks down all of the sectors. And the one that we focus on right now is cryptocurrency. And that is why you can see a list of brands under cryptocurrency. You can see top earners under cryptocurrency. And you can click on those to continue to enhance whatever you're looking for. We're going to focus on cryptocurrency as the primary test case for all of this. And even within cryptocurrency, there's just a tremendous amount of work to be done. But I urge you that you can keep in mind that essentially everything that works for cryptocurrency can work for any financial services. And then if it works for any financial service company, it can work for a gaming company or an education company just as easily. So the primary crux is to try to create value for my network. How do you create value for your network is you attach yourself to them. This is the oldest concept in network marketing, right? You can only make money off people who are in your team. Okay, well, then just take that one step further. What if you don't need to keep rebuilding your team in any capacity? What if you only needed to build your network once? Socially, this is what you're doing your whole life. You don't ever, make a friend and then say, well, I'm going to a different friend company. Do you want to come with me and make sure you become my friend in that company as well? Obviously, nobody says stuff like that, but in network marketing, that is how people talk. But when it comes to the broker app, that is completely nullified, because you're essentially building one network, and then you're allowing anybody in your network, really even without your permission, to subscribe to any brand, and then therefore generate positive revenue for that brand, and you override that. That would be the 1-minute pitch of the broker app. The broker app is essentially, you heard until now, I talked kind of about what's the end objective, but how do you get to that objective? How do you value your network? How do you make money? How do you grow it? Well, what you do is you're growing a one-time network by introducing them to the broker app. And then once they're in the broker app, because of you, they're in your lineage forever, just like they would be in your lineage in any other network marketing company, except here, everybody in your lineage could go down several hundred levels. Everybody in your lineage is not proprietarily doing anything that you want them to do. They themselves are then sorting within the numerous amount of brands, industries, and sectors that are accessible on the broker app to be able to generate sales, which then you override. That's the mechanism by which you generate value for your network, and the degree to which you're continuously growing. Because as you can now imagine, you never have to rebuild your network ever. I mean, you can never go one person less than you had the day before. You never restart building a team. You never conceivably even think about, what am I going to do at the next company? There is no next company. It's just your network and people inside of your network buying, selling, and or influencing people to buy and sell. And therefore, you're benefiting off of that. The people in your team could be influencing people to buy and sell things you have no interest or capacity to do, and yet you're benefiting off of that. This, for those of you that have, kind of been in and around the industry for long enough, you obviously know that the biggest problem, not just in network marketing, by the way, but also in any type of kind of high value sales, investment banking, venture capital, real estate, blah, 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 blah. You understand that the issue is when you introduce a deal or when you introduce an opportunity, it's fabulous because typically the opportunity that you're introducing them to protects your right to earning. But what happens on the next deal that has nothing to do with that opportunity or the people involved, but you're still the reason for that happening? You obviously get cut out of that. And that's completely common practice. And that's exactly what cannot happen in the broker app, because once they're in your network forever. And I've tried my level best to actually change the vocabulary from things like downline, things like, underneath, to much more social terms, like obviously network, but even greater than that, following, and like things that people would use in a social context, which will architect similar concepts. If you look at what's really remarkable here is even on my home page, when I go back, I have 2 levels. That just means that my network has only grown to 2 levels. Like some people on this call, just based on the people that Alan mentioned, when they log into the broker app, they'll see 50 levels already because they've been building global exchange. And on each level, I have an amount of contacts. You can see that. So on my DD stands for depth differential. Just think about that as your direct, and then like DD1 is your first level away from you. DD2 is your second level away from you, and it keeps on going and keeps on going. Typically, it should compound. And again, those contacts that you see on the right-hand side have maybe never bought anything or maybe don't plan to. They've just joined a company because of any given person in that network. And I can, for example, click on one of my levels and expand and get all the data for all the businesses that happened in that level. So it's pulling up stats. As you can see, 33 users, 0 brands, 0 one-timers. I'll explain what brands and one-timers mean. And it shows you what you earned from those transactions. You can go as deep as you want to investigate, or you can not go deep. For example, if you clicked, I'm going to go on my direct, think about that. Some of you guys, when you leave today, download the app and you can go to your 16th level and look at everything. Gross revenue, revenue generated, how much you earned, and the valuation of the level. And then that's just stats, right? What if you click people? If you click people, there's this Tinder type of interface I created that allows you to see every single person in that level, because it's very quick before you stop knowing these people. Like by level 2 or 3, I don't think you're going to know these people. And now you have the opportunity. So that's a person that's updated his profile picture, which is good. Like this girl, Drake, and Jeff Bezos are just the 3 pictures I chose when you don't have a profile picture, but they're all real people. Like the usernames are all real people, right? And so these are all the people in my first level of my network. You know, you could see their username and their name. I could also search for them. You know, I could type in, DD level 1, I could type in any single person in my network and I could get them right there. And now you can contact them, anybody in your network, and continue to interact with them, do further business. I'll explain why that's important. But you can start to see why the abstraction of just think about the colossal endeavor of trying to centralize every potential income generating opportunity into one app is, and then think about the simplicity at which you all just understood what I said. So that's, I mean, Alan, maybe I did maybe nobody understood what I just said, but everything I could have said before I showed you that could have sounded like gibberish, but I believe when I showed you that, it made sense. And that's every level. And you can see each transaction and each person's transaction and the brands they interacted with, and maybe they interacted with a brand you've never even heard of. And immediately you start to see why you would sign someone up. And this is what I keep saying. That's a joke that people used to say, even in my first network marketing company, they're like, yo, if you don't sign them up, someone else will. Okay, first of all, that's bullshit. That's probably unlikely that they're going to sign up for a nutrition company if I don't sign them up. But number 2, it's not like, Nestle or something that's going to be just a hyper monopolization. However,
I think, sure,
Alan, let me get off one more sentence and then I want to hear your opinion. I genuinely do. If you don't sign someone up for BrokerApp because it's free and they get to use all of that without even buying anything, you get all that, everything I just showed you, you don't have to pay anything for. I didn't pay nothing for that. You can earn money without, like, people in your network doing things. You can earn money depending on how that brand that they're selling for wants to cut the commissions. But just come back to this point for a sec, is that if you don't sign them up, I assure you they will sign up for someone else, because it's just too easy to sign someone up. It's free. Anybody will pitch them, hey, do you want to monetize your network? Why wouldn't the earlier they sign up, the better? There's no cost structure, and they're just going to be it's just a time game. And so really this is going to be a race to the bottom in terms of signing people up, because the friction of signing someone up is nothing. Once they sign up, now the question is, well, can the app be productive? Can the app actually help people make sales, connect them to brands that they can sell for? And then if that's true, because that's my job, I don't think it's going to be that difficult to sign up X amount of people when you're proposing something like this at free. But then the next question is, well, once they have the app on their phone, can it actually do what I just said and help people connect to brands that they want and earn money? Okay, I'll go into that. And if it does that, it's good night, good day, because now every person that's in the app that didn't make money has seen that. Alan, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, everybody, I mean, on top of what you're saying, everybody is moving in this direction. Whether you talk to them today and they say, well, I don't really know anything about it, I'm not. And then 2 weeks later, the insurance company says, hey, you know what? We're online. We expect you to pay us online if you want to insure your house or your jewelry or your car, and you need to register it in our blockchain system so that we know it's yours 100%. And when they see that, now they'll insure you, but they're insuring you for a lot less money than a typical old school, bricks and mortar based insurance company. So everybody is heading this way. If it isn't, from voting to insurance to a whole bunch of other things that are coming on the blockchain, everybody's heading this way. So what you're saying is, just get your guy in and register. You don't need to, he doesn't need to pay anything. Just get him in and register, because we know that his world, that's his specific world, or his relative world, in other words, all the people around him, are moving in this direction. It's happening. You can't stop the world from turning. It's turning. So by positioning yourself, just even getting them signed up as a customer, or the availability of a customer, the BrokerApp will now be able to move him forward from just being a customer. He starts to like it, realize I got other customers. Next thing you know, he can move up. Does that make sense? When we add that all together, I mean, you can't lose by moving him in this direction.
Yeah.
And when he says,
you can absolutely lose by not.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you say someone will sign up, that doesn't mean they're going to sign up for this company. Maybe they sign up for something else that's out there. But the bottom line is every single person you know right this second is coming into crypto. Now, you might not know when. It might be 6 months, 2 years from now, but it could be tomorrow. It could be in the next week. And some of them are already eager to get going. So that's what we're talking about. Just like we were showing that at the end of the meeting now, is that just get into BrokerApp, get yourself signed up. Free, nothing. Take your time. But
and then you can learn.
Later,
and then you can learn.
And then the other thing that we've combination tag teamed on to put this together was the fact that not only can you move into it, but if you never pay another dime, you get to stay in, because we know your realm around you, all the people around you are coming this way. And sooner or later, you're going to wake up and go, oh my God, like, why would I be a full paid broker? I just need to be a full paid broker. There's too many people around me that are now talking crypto. And even if you're in the worst ranks of people, like just nothing but cement builders or something, you don't know anything about the internet, you will see those people start moving. And when they do, they're in your realm. You're going to hear the word crypto, hear the word Bitcoin 10 times more than you did last year. When that happens, that's when you want to say, hey, you know what? I got a bank. Come over here. Bring them over here. I'll save you some money. So yeah, no, the future is everybody's coming this way. Whether they join with you or not is totally irrelevant. They're joining. They're joining the trend. Yeah. Actually, Helen says it the best. The trend is your friend. Go ahead.
Oh, very interesting. I like that. I like that phrase. So let me then... I don't know, is that some message or something? Anyway, so let me now proceed to what we are doing as the first phase of that implementation. Okay, good. Now, you understand what the value is once you have a network and once your network is on BrokerApp and blah, 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 blah. Let me show you what the immediate value proposition is. So I'm a user in BrokerApp. Everything I showed you thus far is in this first tab, this network tab. Okay. I'm now going to go to the second tab, which is brands. And this is where I could see all the brands industry information even without logging in. But now that I'm logged in, I have a different level of being able to interact with the brands. The brand that's in function right now is Global Exchange. So they're the one I'm going to use for all my examples. And in the future, there will be more, and that's our objective. And we can talk definitely about the strategy to do that. I think it's a pretty simple one. But anyway, let's just use Global Exchange as an example. What you can see right under the Global Exchange, because these are all the crypto brands. You'll see all the real estate brands elsewhere when we get into that. But right now you can see the crypto brands. And what do you see under the word Global Exchange? You see the word 3 licenses. Could be 10 licenses, could be 0 licenses. What that means is that brand offers a broker on the BrokerApp the ability to monetize by selling that brand's products. Could be lipstick, could be Bitcoin. I'm assuming that Global Exchange is Bitcoin. So what can I do as a broker? Forget about the word broker. What can I do as a BrokerApp user? I can click on this brand and I can learn about them. I can learn, first and foremost, I get to see exclusive deals from that brand that nobody else would be able to get. For example, Global Exchange has several products and services. Binance has several products and services. Sephora has several products and services. Global Exchange in the BrokerApp, every brand will list advanced coupons, discounts. As you can see, if you sign up to Insta Crypto through the BrokerApp, you get 2,000 free. You get 2,000 free Sefcoin, and just like that, the BrokerApp in that context will be a way for brands to be able to dispose of the highest end discounts. Now, the question is, you should ask, well, Shorupan, why do you think that the brands will give you a bigger discount than they give, let's say, Groupon or something like that? I'll tell you why. Because when the brands write blanket discounts, let's say, Target or something writes a blanket discount to Groupon, who are they targeting? No pun intended. Groupon is going to end up in the hands of their end customer. Am I right or wrong? Of course it is. And what does that mean? That means Sefcoin, long answer. I'll explain later. Sefcoin is a coin used in the Insta Crypto app, but to save on exchange fees. So it's an advantage again that you would get, but you wouldn't know that unless you wanted to use Instant Crypto, and you wouldn't get the SEF coin as a bonus unless you came through the BrokerApp. But the reason I'm saying that is because a brand is always more incentivized, any brand, any industry, to cut a bigger deal with the person that's going to potentially sell their product as opposed to the end user, because the end user is going to get the least amount of a discount. Who's going to get slightly more is the person that's going to go recruit the end user. And that's why all the brands will have their highest end discounts and or promotions inside the BrokerApp first, because the brands know I'm targeting in the BrokerApp the people who can potentially sell this. It's the same logic Global Exchange use. Good. So I could see different things, and I could get started with Insta Crypto directly from here. I could simply click on Insta Crypto and download the Insta Crypto app, iOS or Android, or go to assets.io and do the same thing. You know, again, it works in any capacity. Those are just examples because of Global Exchange, but it could be in any capacity. 1 second. That's just in terms of opportunities that I have. You'll understand why that's very important in terms of you being able to recruit people. Because now, when you recruit someone for BrokerApp, it's already free. It's already a ridiculous value proposition. But you can now say to them, hey, I know you wanted to sign up for Insta Crypto or whatever it so may be. If you sign up through the BrokerApp, it's the same account because it's all login with GX, but you get, first of all, you got a place to download it, pretty straightforward. But number two, you get the additional incentive for no additional work. And so the ability to transform pure clients into clients that also have the BrokerApp downloaded on their phone is pathetically easy, considering the fact that the clients are the ones that are going to be most incentivized to get these discounts. Okay, up top, I have two buttons. I have channel and I have follow. Right? And every brand, that's my cover photo for Global Exchange. Every brand has its own, profile page, right? But every brand has those two buttons, channel and follow. And if I click follow, first of all, before I click follow, let me click channel. So is Alan here? Because this is something that I need him to really see. I think he is. We might have just been turned off his video. I want to make sure it didn't cut out. When I click channel for a brand, I'm actually getting to see their next sequence of opportunity events. So it gives the newest prospect the ability to find where the next webinar, the next event, the next opportunity meeting, the next training for that particular brand is. So when I clicked on the channel for Global Exchange, it's saying that on today, which is the 21st, there's no event. But if I simply slide my cursor to the 22nd, what do you see there? An event. Look at that. BrokerApp introduction webinar, 7 p.m. via Zoom call. And if I can click register and register directly there, or I could click more details and get all the details about that potential webinar or opportunity event or in-person event. In other words, if I'm an agnostic user perusing through the BrokerApp, and I come across a brand I find interesting, I don't even need to ask anybody what they do. I don't even need to ask anybody how to learn about them, because that brand would have a direct channel of communication to their upcoming events, upcoming webinars, and historical events and webinars that are all recorded. I actually built the channel product inside of this because of how much disorganization there is inside of Global Exchange as it pertains to content. And this is a way to hyper organize it. There's no need to send out invitation links or, hey, sign up for this webinar, sign up for this prospect meeting, because now your prospects are just people that have signed up for BrokerApp, and you can tell them, hey, go into this brand. There's a webinar that's happening. In other words, Google Calendar, Zoom, everything has now been streamlined for every brand to be able to talk directly to their prospects. And that's just under channel. The reason I showed that, and you can see about the host, who's going to be hosting, about the event, copy the link, how long it's going to be, watch a promo video. It's all there for each event and historically. So now I know that there's going to be one tomorrow. The guy that invited me to the BrokerApp can let me know that. I can even find that on by myself. Now I watch it, and either I like this brand or I don't like this brand. If I like this brand, then I'm going to do the next step. I'm going to click follow. Now, we've followed people on Instagram, on Twitter, on every platform imaginable, but following a brand on BrokerApp is slightly different. when you click follow, it actually opens up a licenses page. And here is where, based on the brand's requirements, you can engage with them. So if the brand requires you to buy something in order to sell for them, that would be here. You could see the monthly subscriptions. You could see the staking subscriptions. You can see whatever. Again, it's all up to the brand. For example, Global Exchange has one that's $99 a month for their BrokerApp Prime membership. And that means that if I want to follow Global Exchange, or in other words, in typical terms, if I want to become an affiliate for Global Exchange, I could purchase one of these licenses, and then right here at the top, it would show me that I have an active license. And if I have an active license for this brand, well, guess what? Now I could sell and make whatever amount of money I want from that brand. And I can do that for any amount of brands as a user of the BrokerApp. I can stop doing it. I can continue doing it. I can sell my license. I can destroy my license. I can peruse and improve anything that I want. And it's all managed directly brand by brand. In other words, you're building a portfolio of companies that you can sell for and that you are interested in. Now, what's the great thing about that? That's all stuff that you want to do. Meanwhile, every person in your network is doing the same thing. Every person in your network is undergoing that same journey. And right now, considering there's only Global Exchange, they're all probably thinking the same thing, which is, do they like Global Exchange, or they want to sell crypto or not? But as that base increases, now you're going to have tremendous amount of variety. And people are going to be monetizing, engaging, following brands, making money that have really nothing to do with you. And when that happens, you are now overriding them unlimited levels in a capacity whereby you're genuinely monetizing every single dollar that goes through your network in any capacity. So now you understood that without leaving a single app, I'm able to sign up for free, manage my network. I'm able to see through the industry sectors and brands that interest me. I'm able to learn about them because I have a direct communication to their content and their upcoming opportunity information. And then if I care to, I can follow them. And by the way, some brands might make it so that you can follow for free and that you don't need to pay anything to sell them. Some brands in the future might pay you to follow them, right? It all depends. And now what you get to see is that if I want to go and endeavor to do that, I can. And I've gone from doing nothing to everything. The real question is, how and what does that look like for your prospect? Although you may be overwhelmed because this is the first time you're hearing it, what I explained right now is an extraordinarily logical process, because it's the exact same process that someone encounters when they first download Airbnb or when they first download Amazon, which is, I downloaded it because it's free, first and foremost. Signing up is free, and it could potentially possess something I need. Maybe I'm going to take a trip one day, I need a house, or I'm going to buy something one day. And then when I go on the app, because of how compelling it is making me want to do that. And herein lies the beautiful point. When you have a prospect for anything, anywhere, anytime, getting them to interact with that through the BrokerApp, to them is nothing. It's just like, all right, cool. Well, tell me why. Well, it's free. Okay, well, you can build a network. All right, cool. I don't really care that much, whatever. But once you've made them do that, they are now on their own journey in a way that you can never really even imagine or control. And you don't have to worry about it. You're just like, yeah, screw it. I don't care what brand they sell for. I don't care what they do. They could become the biggest cryptocurrency kingpin, or they can never touch it again. I've done my job. I've done as much as possible to secure my position, because no matter what they do, when they do it, I'm overriding it. And so that's the second tab. That's the brands page. Beyond that, I could now go into like some super specifics on how to recruit people for the BrokerApp. What is the billing message I should pass for the first time?
You know what? I think the whole concept of being able to use the BrokerApp as a method to bring someone on board. They go in as a customer, and because the BrokerApp will give them little tidbits of why it's of value to be a broker as time goes on, with an automatic message and stuff like that. That's where we want to be. Everybody like to get in, get signed up. I would really like to make sure I lock in my customer as a start. I think at the end of the day, we can see the future. It's been well explained here. Everybody's moving this direction. So what we're going to do is I want to lock up my network. And as you said, your network is now in a position to be monetized. So for sure, I want to lock up as big a network as I can.
Yeah, that is absolutely the only thing you need to understand when you leave this call, is that I don't really know everything about what was just said, but what I do know is that I'm only going to gain by getting people to sign up under me. That's it. There's no downside ever. I never have to force them to buy anything. It's only upside for them. And if I don't, and they do register for free, now let me repeat this. This is probably the most damning thing I could say. Let's just hypothesize for 1 second that Alan doesn't sign me up. That might seem like a trivial mistake.
Trivia? What are you kidding me? That's not going to happen. You're in. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Now let me explain something. It's not just a matter of Alan missing out on what I could have brought to him as a revenue. It's that I can never be under Alan for anything ever again. Now, you might say that I'm being outlandish. I am, obviously. I'm biased. I'm completely delusional. So take that with a grain of salt. But just think about that for 1 second here. There's no concept, once the BrokerApp has been released to the public, of, okay, don't worry, Alan, on our next business venture, we'll work together. Nope. Because your network is your network. And your network is a part of someone else's network, so part of someone else's network. And that means that in some capacity, of course you could do offline deals. Of course, go at it. But when you're talking about the efficiency of what I've talked about, do you think about, I'm going to again assume that there monthly are some, okay, do monthly. Sorry. If you think about it, everything that I just showed you in terms of get someone to sign up for free, let them peruse through the things that interest them, let them find the brand that stands out to them, let them see and engage with the opportunity, webinars and events that brand shows, and then let them understand the cost structure of recruiting for that brand. That's the entire job of a network marketer, and this app does it. So my next question is, what are any of us going to actually do? And Alan answered that question. It's a wild race to see who could sign up as many people for free. Because after that point, your job is pretty futile. There's not much you can actually do. Can you encourage them to pay for a license? And sure. I'm sure you can, especially earlier on. But as people formulaically get adjusted to this, do you force people to take an Uber? Like, is that a sales, like a pitch that you have to make to somebody? No. At the beginning, it probably was, to be honest. But the efficiency at which this does what Dexter Yeager did for 60 years or something like that is astonishing. I mean, until you use the app, you might not understand why that's such a trippy idea, but it is what it is.
No, I call it, well, it's 20 years in advance, but the bottom line is it is in advance. And when you search and you try it in other directions, it's such a headache. And to come here and have it just so easily streamlined, and you can see where it's going. I mean, you
never have to explain anything again. Like,
no, it's
you literally have to never, like when on September 18th, I released the first version. Alan's like, well, we need to sign up people to get them on webinars to educate them about it. So then I went and built that entire prospecting and webinar registration and webinar consumption process inside of the app, because Alan alerted me to the fact that that's a critical part of building your network. And I said, wait, if it's a critical part of you building your network, that means a BrokerApp has to do that. See, once upon a time, and I'm sure you guys have better stories than I do, I carried 24 cans of cold drinks to home events so that I could prospect people.
To a home event?
Home event, like whatever you call them, man, home presentations, whatever you want to call it, right? Right. So I brought my products, like my network marketing products, and did presentations in person and whatnot. And great. Okay. Tried to set the environment and mood and all great stuff. All of that's gone. Just burned. I couldn't imagine someone doing that today. I'm sure they are. They just don't have the BrokerApp yet. And then what did it go to? I witnessed in the last 2 years, even pre-COVID, the evolution of Zoom, the evolution of crypto, allowing people to kind of join companies and investment schemes across the world, and kind of that generation of network marketing. That was really a logistics management version of network marketing, not as much sales, as much as it is like logistics management and digital advertising. Okay, and then now I think the next evolution is where it's no longer even that, because the BrokerApp does that element for you. And now your real goal is to see how expansive your network can be. Okay. Because of Marvik's particular concern, and she wants me to talk about how to sign people up and recruit people, I'm going to show you now the process of getting someone to register for the BrokerApp. Not getting them to buy anything, not getting them to learn anything, not getting them to do anything. Just signing them up, which we've just explained, if you don't do it, could be one of the more expensive things you don't do in your life. This is the ease at which anybody, not just me, not just you as a paid broker with a paid broker license for any one of the brands. No, anybody who has the BrokerApp can build their network. Anybody who has the BrokerApp can steal people from you if you don't register that person. Now, if they're underneath you, that doesn't really matter because it's going to go forever. But nonetheless, you get my point. There's no prerequisite. There's not even a cost. There's not even one ID that's required for someone to build the biggest network in the world. Now, they might need to pay to monetize, because the brand that they want to monetize is requiring that, or they may not have to. But this is how simple it is, because I've thought about this more than I've thought about anything else in the last 12 months. How is it that I can ensure that the speed of the only task I need humans to perform, because I'm positive at this point, I've eradicated all the human element of the recruiting business. The only task I need humans to perform now is getting people to, because what I can't do, your phone is real estate. If you haven't come to terms with this, I'm going to make it a visceral realization for you. So let's just take Broadway. Or let's just take, 99 Wall Street or something like that, whatever you think is the most prominent piece of real estate on planet Earth. Okay. The home page on your cell phone is more valuable to every single company than Rodeo Drive, Barclay, I don't know, whatever street in London, whatever street in Hong Kong, the home page on your phone, companies salivate over that. Salivate. Orgasms thinking about that, thinking of penetrating into that home page. If they can even get onto your phone, that's an incredible concept. But to get that homepage, I'll tell you, I can guess what apps are on your homepage. I don't even know any of you. And you guys are so diverse in terms of your age demographic. If you have an iPhone, you have all the stupid iPhone apps that come stock Apple on your homepage, plus whatever music app, streaming app you use. So Apple Music, Spotify, whatever it is, plus YouTube, plus WhatsApp, and some social media platform. That stretches across generations and virtually any type of socioeconomic background. So my job, and the only job of every person on this call, is to make sure that the BrokerApp lands on that very, 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 very expensive real estate. Because once it's there, it's good game. It's over. The job is done. There's no more further work, to be honest. But getting them into that real estate is your job. So that's what I needed to build a tool whereby anybody can get the BrokerApp into their friend's real estate of that priority. So this is how you do it. Again, I haven't paid for anything, meaning I'm a guy that just signed up. I click the menu button, top left-hand corner. It opens up my menu. And underneath that $69.93 valuation, there's a button called Broker Sync. If you're looking at a BrokerApp that you downloaded a while ago and it doesn't say that, you need to update it. I'll send you the update. I click Broker Sync. And this is the page that's available to any human on the BrokerApp that explains to them how to build their network. I have made this idiot proof. I have made this age proof. I've made this. I haven't made it language proof because it's only in English. So that's a flaw that I need to fix. What I mean by that is I haven't left anything up for grabs because I felt that the degree of speed at which this is going to grow cannot unfortunately afford for that. So watch this. Step one. Well, your network is your network. Step one, as a BrokerApp user, you have the ability to register them here directly. And then below that, you have the ability to get the app directly onto the cell phone of whomever you're talking to. 2 steps. 2 steps. Anybody that's been in global exchange before, you would legitimately also done quick comment. Oh man, fabulous. So you would legitimately know the pain of sending someone your link, telling them to go register. And then once they go register, checking your back office to see if they're there. And then that person trying to find the way for that person to transact. By the way, we were no worse than anyone else in the industry. But now nobody in the industry will use another method than the one that I just showing you. I, the guy with the BrokerApp, will step one, register my prospect. I'm not even going to give him the opportunity to go to my link. I'm not even going to give him the opportunity to get my username and refer. No, none of that. I don't trust him like that. I'm going to click register prospect directly from my app. And it's going to say, what's your prospect's email? Does anybody here have an email that I can use that isn't already a global exchange email? And not Yahoo, preferably Gmail, just because Gmail delivers quicker. If you do, just shoot it off. Just shoot me off the email, and Alan, read it out for me, please.
Sure. PC, go ahead.
What? Yeah, he'll type it and you read it.
Okay. PC, here we go. Antonio, Antonio.
There we go. Antonio. Dot.
GAMIOCHPI.
CHPI. Am I correct what I'm typing?
I don't see what you're typing because I got this in front of me.
Yeah. Antonio.
Oh, yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
Okay. And do you see as soon as
GAMIOCHIPI.
Oh God, 1 second. I messed that up. Okay, wait.
GAMIO.
So Gamio. Okay, wait. Gamio and then
CHIPI.
CHIPI.
Yeah.
Alan, just do the double check on that. Is correct?
Yeah, Antonio. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as I enter at Gmail, it picks up that it's an email and my arrow button comes. Good. I click arrow. Now I'm going to create Antonio a temporary username. So it has to be available. It can't be taken. So I'm going to keep typing. Beautiful. I'm going to make it Antonio 123. Oh, that's 124. There we go. And click enter. I actually don't need the area code. I just need to know the country. It'll pick that up.
514. So he's in Montreal.
Yeah, that's Canada. Yeah. So look, all I need to do is type in the country, Canada. Beautiful. Okay. And then number 514. Yep.
608.
608.
6636.
6636. Oh, my phone is about to die. I will charge it 1 second. So there we go. 6636, right? 514 608 6636. You got it. Done.
You're good.
And proceed. I'm going to create a nice little friendly message. You know, default is, hey, check out the new BrokerApp. But since I'm his boy, I'm going to be like, hey, Antonio, already registered you. Check your email and log in to this app with the creds from the mail.
Okay, just to clarify, Shorupan, unless the guy responds and actually goes and log in, it's not a placeholder. So you can't just go and register somebody. They have to follow suit and agree.
No, to be very transparent, it is a placeholder and it expires after 7 days of nothing happening.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So that was a question I had earlier.
That's a great question.
Like,
That's a great question.
You could just register anybody in your whole list. No. You got to register somebody you're talking to, and then they agree to accept it.
Yeah, if they don't log in with those credentials, because what's going to happen? Well, first let me send this off. Click proceed, and now watch this. If done, the system just texted Antonio the link to download the app, and I've already emailed him his username and password. So now all Antonio needs to do, he got it immediately. By the way, we're not even on the App Store yet. It texted him my private server link. And it'll text him the App Store link when I want it to. Anywhere in the world, 24/7. And I've already registered him. So now I just have to force him to log in. He logs in, my job is done. He is now a part of my network, and I can continue on with my life. Maravik, you like that? I don't know, where is she? She has to say something.
Oh, she's there.
Yes, I do.
Hey, Maravik, you have to like that.
We have another question in regards to other emails.
Yeah, it was good.
The Outlook and TELUS.net, we're having some questions.
Yeah. No, you're correct. Outlook and Yahoo are a disaster. I don't know why, because to be honest, if you want to know something, the entire email server is running on Amazon SES, which is like what Amazon runs on. And so I don't know. It's not like that's actually something I'm controlling. I have to check even more detailed, but it's bizarre that Outlook has that delay. And I understand that it's not the recipient's fault. I always aim for a Gmail. It does work with Outlook, but it's like it's a crapshoot to some degree. I apologize. I'm investigating that right now, but it's if I was doing my own email algorithms, I could actually tell you it's because our email algorithms are not sophisticated, but it's Amazon. So it's, it's pretty shocking. I will continue looking at that, but you're correct. I would stray away from those two. Yahoo and Outlook. Again, it's not that they don't work. They work, but they take longer, and sometimes I don't know. It's a mess. But you're right. I will continue to try to make that.
Question from Tracy. He said, well, what if the password does not work to log in? I know he had this issue earlier.
No, it's not possible. So watch this. It's a good question.
He went through this process. So my question is, should he just delete everything and start fresh? No.
When he goes into the BrokerApp, okay, by the way, that's actually just reminded me of something. Actually, as of right now, there needs to be one more update. I need to patch it, but I'll explain it to Antonio and I'll explain to everybody else. Right now, the process of like a very nice, so technically what happens is I would go and I would try to log in with my temporary password that was sent to me in the email, and it would say, hey, this is not a real password. Please change it now. And if you go to Global Exchange IO or on any of the web apps right now, that's what it'll do. I don't think the mobile app does that right now. So that's a fair point. I don't know if someone tried that and that's why they're saying that. But you can still do it. It's just it doesn't give you the clear direction, but I'll fix that tonight. Now that is a good point. In the web versions, which is not relevant to this conversations, it says, hey, please change your password right now. So what happens is that the password that's sent to you it's only gonna work to get you to reset the password. It's not meant for you to keep. And the system recognizes that. But if someone has tried that on the app and for some reason it hasn't been clear as to what's the next step, I apologize. That is correct. I haven't built a response mechanism that says, hey, I see that you've been registered by a broker or by an admin. This is how you change your password. It might just say wrong password. So that's why in the app, that one additional step needs to be done. But in the web version, it's already done. And I will import that into the mobile app tonight. So all it'll say is, hey, you need to reset your password to log in. And it'll let you do that. And then you're in. Cool. Yeah, that's as far as my job goes. I'm on a mad dash to try and get as many people signed up as humanly possible. I'm not saying that's my mad dash. I'm saying that's an average user's mad dash.
Let me just help you out here a little bit. It makes sense. I use this story. Imagine a variety store giving away milk for $2.99. Their cost is $2.99. They're giving it away. Just come and buy milk from us. Now, when you walk in to buy the milk, you grab a couple of bags of chips and maybe a chocolate bar. And the way you've set it up is we know the world is turning over to crypto. Why not get them into our bank where there's earnings made on trading crypto, investing, just having money sit in your liquid account, doing staking, whatever. Why not get them into our bank way in advance of them joining all the other banks, right? That's the proposition we've got. That's the way you've set it up. My only ask at this point, unless somebody has certain questions, is to try and share, just in a short 3 minutes, try and share with us how you see the future unfolding and how you have positioned yourself to be ahead of the game. Obviously, for average individual persons to be able to have the entire banking system as if you're 20 years ahead of the game and this is where everybody's going to be anyways. I mean, that's pretty powerful. But to hear it from you, your specific, future ideas, future vision. Let's put it that way.
I want to start off. Thank you, Alan, for giving me again that platform to answer that question. But I want to start off by saying, irrespective of my vision, I think that my vision for people that have known me until today or known about me has been what's carried most of the future aspirations of global exchange, and like not just for myself, but for everybody. And so that's fair. But I wanted to take today, the reason I came on this webinar, the reason I really wanted to get the recording of this is that I do believe that the concept of the future it's not gone, because it'll always be better in the future. But with that process that I just showed you, I don't think anybody will wait for me anymore. I know that might not make some sense, but I'll try to explain that before I talk about my vision. In some capacity, until now, even if you've been super excited, like you can even take Shaq as an example. Like he was excited on that call that Alan was doing on Friday. Like he liked everything he was hearing. But what was his question? Well, I need to get someone started. Or what's the first step? What's the progression of me getting someone who doesn't know anything to the point of them being a superstar broker or a superstar customer? And I have never, ever, since I've started the company, first of all, I've never built something that actually takes care of that problem. And number two, I've obviously never addressed it. And for the first time on this call, it's now been addressed and explained and implemented, and everybody has access to it, which is how do you take a person, force them literally to sign up, and then get them inside of your network, get them discounts on the products and services that they want, and then occupy their mind share and let them subscribe to Alan's webinars or Shorupan's webinars or whatever is content, get them to learn themselves and then potentially become a broker. That process, which is now inherently built into this application and not the responsibility of a broker, I think strips away a lot of the significance of my future vision. Of course, I think my vision is still pretty important, but I did want to say that. I think that with the tools that I just outlined, that there really isn't going to be a requirement for anybody to consider me or consider the company even, because you can literally take this and just monetize it to no end at this point. And now to answer your question, it's very, very simple. I think that people will wake up to the deal that I think people will very much wake up and start thinking about their network as their business. I think that will happen in the next 2 quarters, actually.
Yeah.
Like, because of us. Like, I'm not saying the whole world, that would be crazy, but I'm saying a significant amount of people will wake up, and if you asked a person, like take a person who has no formal education, but just like a small business owner, like who runs a coffee shop or a restaurant or something, and he is literally performing valuation equations in his head every time he sells a coffee, every time he, serves a customer. And that's because he has knowledge about his business and the numbers, the inventory, the value of his products, the profit margins. And I think the BrokerApp allows every single human to look at their network as a business, that they don't have to work.
For you, Shorupan.
Yeah, that by the way, that is the answer. But that is the answer to your question. Your question that you asked me, which is what is the vision? I think the vision is going to be that cryptocurrency was the enabler because it allowed for universal transactions. And that's a given at this point because we've built the vault, which is, I think, one of the more comprehensive methods of that. But on top of that, I think really what's going to be, because I never thought that cryptocurrency was inspiring. Like hopefully everybody on this call knows that I just live and breathe cryptocurrency, so I don't need to, kind of readdress my admiration for them. But I never looked at them as something that inspires people to change their behavior, because the current monetary system never did that to some degree. And, seashells 7,000 years ago never did that. All money is a medium of exchange. The question is, what is it that you're using it for? What's your end goal? If it's to make more money, you still need to objectively use that. And so my exciting points was, what would cryptocurrency enable that the US dollar couldn't? And I genuinely believe microtransactions and the ability to own your own transactional network, which is just impossible with fiat currency, is one of the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest contributions that crypto would make. And the fact that within a year and a half, Global Exchange has done the cryptocurrency entire infrastructure, from the payments to the exchange to everything, and then has been able to abstract it into a product that tomorrow my sister, who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency, can still sign up for the BrokerApp and want to monetize her network of friends and family in some obscure product, and the underpinning of that being cryptocurrency. And now I'm overriding the sale of her products and the transactional revenue that's going on. I think that's the most miraculous thing that we've accomplished.
Like, I've been around networking for a long time. That is phenomenal. To be able to think that somebody could leave your network, as so-called, you would think that's happening, but they're not leaving really your network, they're joining something else. And they're actually going to continue to bring more and more people on board while they go build their makeup company or something like that, whatever health product. But listen, I've got a question here for you.
Shoot me all the questions.
Can you handle this, Bert Amsing's question? It says, so broker chain is to brands what broker chain is to crypto. Sorry, blockchain is to crypto. Broker chain is to brands as blockchain is to crypto. Does that make sense?
Who said that?
That's I want to introduce you to this guy. He's pretty swift. I've been around him for about 16 years. Really self-employment for a long time, well into crypto as well as networking. And his name is Bert. He's we've known each other for a long time. Continuing on, he says, is the broker chain built on the Ethereum blockchain?
Oh man, now you're getting into really nerdy Shorupan type questions.
So he'll appreciate that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think anybody else except me and him will. But the answer is yes. So you're correct. Let me explain why. Is it Bert? I don't want to miss.
Yeah, Bert.
Bert. Okay. So the reason why Bert's question reveals something that you should all care about. So the only reason Bitcoin works, I don't think any of you can actually explain to me. I mean, maybe I'm taking an assumption. I'm sure some of you could do a very good job, but I don't think any of you guys could, for example, reconstruct SHA-256 or tell me exactly why Bitcoin is validated in the way that it is. The reason that it works and all of you believe that it works is because everyone else believes it's immutable. And that began with the fact that it actually is mathematically immutable. And then if 10 people have validated that it's mathematically immutable and 100 people will validate that those 10 people validated it, well, now you have consensus. In order for that to be accomplished, you actually needed to create at least one connection to the immutable. In Bitcoin, it was miners and everything like that. In our concept, what Bert very poetically elocuted, and I've tried to as well, is that Bitcoin guarantees that your transaction happened. That's actually the technology behind Bitcoin. If you want to know what's the most incredible element of Bitcoin's incredibly expansive technology stack, it could come down to that one sentence. When your bank tells you that money was moved, there's nobody that can guarantee that. Not you, not the bank, not the Fed. It could have happened. It may have happened. It never needed to happen in order for your life to continue. And that is what Bitcoin is legitimately not the case with. In Bitcoin, nothing will work until that transaction actually happens.
I got another question for you. I don't think it's a question. I think it's a statement.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'll read it to you. It's from our friend Bill.
Give me 1 second. I just want to wrap that point, and then I could definitely answer it. When I pay someone commissions, or when anybody pays someone commissions, how do you know anything about that? When you go collect your commissions from any company, whatever, how do you know anything about that? You only know anything about it because of the denominator that the company has alluded. And I'm not saying the company is not telling the truth. I'm sure they are. It doesn't make sense for them to lie most of the time. But the broker chain essentially attempts to duplicate in a different technological way, but in a same psychological way, the immutability that Bitcoin does for transactions with what everyday people can do in terms of driving revenue for brands. So for whatever that's worth, I mean, Bill, that's an incredible observation. And obviously that's my objective.
Okay. So we have two questions, one from Bill and one from Mervik. First question from Bill. And I don't think it's a question. I think it's a statement, but you can answer it. It says, if you are a carpenter, you will tell people you are a carpenter. So now we tell people we are crypto brokers. Crypto bankers. He says, crypto bankers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a statement, but you're adding a question mark at the end for sure. No, I wouldn't say that is your preference. That's not my way to title any of you guys. You guys could be crypto bankers. You could be crypto exchange owners. You could be crypto lovers. You could be crypto haters for all I care. I think the most important thing is
eccentrics.
Well, let's put it like this. I don't love gravity. I don't think about gravity that much, to be honest. And unfortunately, almost every single thing that I do is governed by it. And so whether I want to call myself a gravity observer or not, I am. And the broker chain and the broker app and cryptocurrency will impose upon you the same type of way.
Good answer. Very good answer. Awesome. Love it. Okay, next question is from Mervik.
But I mean, if you want to be more cheeky with it, I would be like, yeah, I'm a crypto banker. It's a sick thing to say. It's a cool thing to say. But yeah, I just wanted to be clear on the fact that it's not something you need to say if you don't want to say it.
But yeah, that's true. So you're a crypto banker. Yeah, I'm a banker. You need crypto. Just come talk to me. Okay, so Mervik has a question, and I'm just going to let her ask it. I'm not even sure what it is. Go ahead, Mervik.
I shoot that question so you can ask directly. Anyway, the payment, I don't know if you're willing to say something about that it's available right now, or can you do a demo? I don't know.
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by that?
Well,
paying for a license?
Affiliate, yeah. The 19.
Yeah, okay. Actually, so two things. I could kill two birds with one stone here.
Okay.
So do you guys remember how to see the licenses for every brand? Let's recap that. I click I swear to God, if Alan asks me this question after I re-explain it to 30 people, I'm gonna close his BrokerApp account.
Shoot first and ask questions later. I know.
It's like that's Soviet.
I got it recorded.
Like, shoot first, right? So watch this. When you click the second tab, right down here, right now in my network tab, and I'm gonna have to click the second tab, right? Second tab. I'm gonna click. It's gonna get me to my earn page, the economy page, I call it. Click the brand you want to mess around with and click follow. And then you got to choose on how you're going to follow. And so at least you guys know how to get there, hopefully. At the top, if you already have a license, it'll say that you have a license. And if you don't, you have to buy one down here. Okay, 1 second. When I got on this call, I was actually working with one of my head developers because we were integrating a new payment interface for buying licenses. But by the time I had got on this call, he wasn't completed yet. So now he's well completed, which means he's pushed an update. But I have the old version. If we were in the Android, Google Play Store and App Store, you would just go to the App Store and click update, right? I've built that function inside of the app so that if once you download the app, you can update the app from the app. How do you do that? You click top right corner. It opens up the plugins. You click app updates. You click Android if you're on an Android, and you look at the latest one, October 21st, and you click it, and it redirects you to downloading the latest version. And now I'm downloading it. Okay, so now I have the latest version on my phone. Open it up, install it. And in the latest version, what I've been told is that that checkout process is done. So click open. Again, click brands. Click global exchange, follow. Let it load. Beautiful. What does it say there? Alan, read it out to me. First product right there.
BrokerApp Prime.
Okay, first, do you see that? What does it say? First month?
$400. So starting what? November 1st?
Yep, and then monthly?
99.
So then I just click subscribe, opens up my page, select which one of my assets I want to pay with, click Bitcoin, and click proceed. And it's going to fail because I don't have $400 worth of Bitcoin in my Bitcoin app. But if I did, that's it, Maravik. That's all I needed to do. That is it.
The bottom line is you got to get money into the system and then you can purchase whatever you want.
I thought that, that's irrelevant. That I already have a license too, so it doesn't really, it's redundant for me. But nonetheless, that Maravik wanted to know how to do it. That entire process is now done. Now if there's no reason that someone wouldn't be able to do it. They come here, they click follow, they click subscribe, they check out, it's done. All right, cool. I just got wind that I have another Zoom call to hop on.
Can I just have a quick minute with you on the Prime Broker?
I'd love to, until the fact that both of us are supposed to be on another Zoom call right now, but it's okay. You stay on. I got to hop off and handle that.
We're talking 1 square minute. I'm going to put you on the hot spot.
Okay, what do you want to know about it?
Simple. There are 2 ways to make money on the Prime Broker.
Okay, so a Prime broker and a normal broker differ.
We got that. I say it every day. We know.
So then
2 methods. Here's my question. My question is, being the character that you are, okay, you are adding, and I've seen them, there are other revenue streams. The other revenue streams that are coming over the next 12 months, they're all going to be added to the Prime Broker value, correct?
Everybody who has the Prime brokerage, which will not be something that will be the same price forever, it increases by $100 every single month. The Prime broker is the last time ever that I will be giving an all-inclusive license. Every other license, if you look here, is product by product. So you will be a la carte. But the Prime broker is essentially the last all-inclusive license. You basically have to trust that that value is going to go up because I'm going to include things in there. If you don't trust that, you are more than free to buy each service independently. But people, that bet's not going to work in your favor. I could tell you that.
Based on your history, the setup, get in, trade, all the basics of banking is in your brokerage. But now you're adding all the extras into Prime Broker, and anybody who's able to purchase the Prime Broker is going to benefit immensely for the rest of their life.
Yeah, they'll never have to pay again either, right? It's the same payment once.
Oh yeah, it's a one-time payment. Yeah, it's forever. So right now, everybody you're talking to has the absolute cheapest, no one can pay less, one time forever for everything in Prime Broker, which is what we got today, and all that you're introducing over the next 12 months. So everybody can do that for
personally, it doesn't benefit me to upsell this. That's how much I know how valuable it is.
Oh yeah, true, it doesn't. But it might for us.
Of course.
Give everybody a shot to get in for free.
Of course. I did the most ludicrous product offering in the history of the world, letting everybody become a broker for originally $500, then $1,000. And now I'm doing it again for a one-time purchase of $400 and then an equivalent of $100. The people that got in for $1,000 are jealous of the people that got in for $500. The people that are now going to have to pay Prime Broker Plus monthly are just jealous of the people that have to pay $1,000. And everybody will be jealous of the Prime Broker. You know why that's all true? Because the product that I delivered 15 months ago was undervalued, and this is still considerably undervalued. By the time it actually reaches market value, all of you would have stolen from me.
I could have said
That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah, I could have said that, but that was kind of a neat way of saying it. The bottom line is you're always giving better value to the earlier person.
Yeah, well, yeah, but by function of the fact that you guys are adopting it and increasing the value of other people using it, I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah, that's right. So you're sharing some of the gain.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't imagine how much I appreciate you guys because it's incredible that you've allocated your time to listen to me. Please download the Broker app today by getting in contact with someone who already has it. They will message it to you. Talk soon.
Okay, Shorupan, we want to thank you all for your time, 100%. And by the way, just wanted to mention, Shorupan has agreed we're going to have a special meeting, not this Thursday, but starting every Thursday thereafter, to update and give you some of the latest, greatest that's going on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, excluding this week's Thursday. Every Thursday.
You got it. Absolutely. Spot on. Spot on.
Okay?
Take care, guys.
And I think we're going to have a special Zoom link to go there only for people who've seen the meeting. So we'll talk about it a little bit more. Shorupan is gone. We're good. So guys, we all have one chance. You saw, you heard, you get to understand this guy talks very technical beyond most of it, but understand this. The bottom line is we're with a great guy. He's backed by a lot of money. He's been going for 3 years. He's built it up. They're physical banks already. They're very world's first cryptocurrency banks. We have a chance right now to build a business beyond your imagination.